We've been getting several questions off the various videos on getting the benefit. So this kind of don't double dip the benefit. You know, we can get credit on some of the benefit or the programs, and some of them, like the PPP, we can get a forgiveness of debt. So based on a bunch of several questions, what I want to do is just do a quick overview, and I'm just calling this don't double dip. This is kind of chart I have here is really an overview of the presentation that I did on the options that are available under the current stimulus package. And so we had the employee retention credit, that what I'm going to call the ERC. Then we had the family first coronavirus response, that's for sick leave. Then we had what on news they talk about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program. And then finally we have the economic injury disaster loan. It's also referred to as the economic injury disaster loan grant. And just real quick before I get in the double dip, the first two programs here is under, I'm going to highlight this, is under the IRS. The PPP is your local bank, and then you go direct online to SBA. Now, to give you an example how quick these things are moving, and that's why I want to do a quick overview, but there's a lot of information to come. Whenever, I'll just say that on Friday before the PPP could be applied for, the SBA changed the form the night before, okay? The EIDL, the disaster loan, in it has this $10,000 grant. But because funds are short, it appears to be that the SBA is going to do certain adjustments to this because the funds are not available. Here's the overall thing. Before we go into don't double dip, a couple years ago there was a code section 199A. It was a qualified business deduction. It was just one code. As of today, there's 3,000 or 4,000 pages of interpretation of that code. You, the small business, and working with your local banker, you, the small business, working with your local tax professional, realize they're not always going to have the answer. None of us do. There's going to be more guidance. You know, right now, there's no instructions for the second quarter 941s. There's no Form 941 for the second quarter because of these credits and these benefits we're looking at. So back to my chart. What I want to do here is that I think it's important that you, the small business, have these options. But when you go to get advice, your tax professional is going to know the IRS and the credits. The banker and SBA is going to know the PPP and the EIDL. Why am I bringing that up? Because on this chart where I have limits here is the fact we have qualified payroll, and the qualified expenses is qualified payroll, and here we have qualified expenses including payroll. The thing about it is that, for example, if you do the employee retention credit, you can't do the PPP. Now, I said that, and actually if you go out in the news media, etc., what you're going to find is that really here, because of the law, it is possible that you got the employee retention credit prior to April 1. That period, it went into effect March 13th through March 31st. The PPP did not exist. In that case, if you took that benefit, you should be able to still qualify for PPP. Why I'm bringing that issue up? Stay tuned. There's going to be more guidance coming out on it. But in concept, if you do the employee retention credit, you can't double dip with the PPP. The next one is if you use the employee retention credit on particular payroll, here's the payroll here, and you can't use the payroll from the Families First Act. You can't double dip again. I'll go over here on the SBA side. If you get this emergency grant of $10,000, when you apply to SBA, they're going to look to see if you're using that same payroll for your PPP. You can't double dip. Bottom line is small business. Remember, if whoever you're talking to here to get the benefit, whether it's a credit or forgiveness of debt, you are the one responsible for not double dipping. I plan on doing a more expanded double dip, but we need some more guidance. If you would like, subscribe to my channel, and that way as I get more information and I get more guidance, then we will be able to update you, because The first object is I'm here to help you get your money now. But I also believe I'm partnering with your local practitioner, or if you're doing your own stuff, or the bank, in order to get it as soon as we can, but to comply and not get in trouble. Thank you.